Most people spend months building a product nobody wants. I validate ideas in 48 hours. Here is exactly how. You get excited about an idea. You start planning. Maybe you buy a domain name. 3 months later, you realize nobody is willing to pay for what you built. That cycle destroys more side businesses than competition ever will. When you only have 5 to 7 hours a week, you cannot waste a single one. I am Adrian. I am a corporate manager building an AI-powered business on the side. Today I am walking you through my 48-hour idea validation framework, the exact process I use before I write a single line of code. Step 1. Define the pain, not the product. Most people start with a solution. I want to build an app that does X. That is backwards. You start with a pain point that real people are already complaining about. Here is how I find pain points in under an hour. I go to Reddit and search for phrases like, "I wish there was," "Does anyone know a tool that," and "There has to be a better way." If the same complaint appears across multiple threads, you have a signal worth investigating. Reddit is the richest source because people are brutally honest when they are anonymous. By the end of this step, you should have a one-sentence problem statement, something like, "Freelance designers waste 3 hours per week manually creating invoice PDFs. Step 2. Find 3 existing solutions and study what they get wrong. If nobody has tried to solve this problem before, that is usually a warning sign. You want competition. Competition means there is a market. Search for existing tools. Look at their pricing, reviews, and support forums. Pay special attention to 1-star and 2-star reviews. That is where customers tell you exactly what current solutions are missing. Write down 3 specific gaps: too expensive, too complex, missing a key feature. Those gaps are your opportunity. Step 3, test willingness to pay in 24 hours. This is where most people skip ahead to building. Do not. Create a simple landing page, a headline that describes the solution, 3 bullet points, and a single call to action. Join the waitlist. You do not need to build the product. You need to test whether anyone cares enough to give you their email. Take your problem statement and flip it into a benefit. Freelance designers waste 3 hours on invoices becomes generate professional invoices in 30 seconds. Share that page in 3 to 5 places where your audience gathers. Not by spamming a link, but by participating in conversations about the problem and mentioning you are working on a solution. 20 or more signups in 24 hours from a cold audience is a strong signal. Fewer than 5 means the problem is not painful enough, or your positioning needs work. Step 4. Validate the price point. Email your waitlist and ask one question. Would you pay $5 per month for a tool that does this? You are not asking them to pay yet. You are testing price sensitivity. If more than 60% say yes or maybe, you have a validated idea. If the majority says no, ask what they would pay instead. Sometimes the answer is nothing, and that saves you months of wasted effort. Step 5. Make the build or kill decision. After 48 hours, you have real data, not opinions from friends, not your own enthusiasm, actual market signals. If the data supports the idea, you move to building a minimum viable product. And because you are using AI tools, that MVP can be ready in 1 to 2 weeks, not months. If the data does not support it, you kill the idea and move on. No sunk cost, no regret. You spent 48 hours and learned something valuable. This is the discipline that separates people who build sellable assets from people who accumulate half-finished projects. Every micro-SaaS I evaluate goes through this exact process before I invest real time into it. Remember, the goal is not just recurring revenue. $4,000 per month in recurring revenue makes a business worth approximately $250,000 at standard SaaS multiples. That is an asset you can sell, but only if you build something people actually want to pay for. Validation is how you make sure of that before you start. If you want to see this framework in action, subscribe to this channel. I document my entire process, from idea to launch. Every week, I am Adrian. I validate before I build, and I build what the market already wants. See you in the next video.